Hello, everyone, and welcome to the breakout session regarding the quickest path to 3D from 2D plan in BricsCAD E24. My name is Rita, and I'm a pre-sales technician for the EMEA regions. Today, I'm going to show you a transition from 2D plan to 3D model and how to convert design concept into 3D representation using the new 3D building modeling tools that will accelerate and simplify this workflow. I will pull a 2D plan into 3D solid object using the top view mode for a better identification of structures and entities in the design project and ultimately convert everything into a real BIM project. Transitioning from a 2D plan to a 3D modeling CAD benefits various stakeholders involved in the design, construction, and communication process of a project. Contractors and builders benefit from this workflow as it helps them to visualize their design concept in a more realistic and tangible manner. It also allows them to identify potential design flaws, clashes, and improvement early in the process. In V24, we created building modeling tools that are simple to use, familiar, and smart when needed. The first things I will most likely to do is attach the 2D plan I received from the designer to my 3D model, so that when I receive a new version from the designer, all I have to do is update the link. I will go ahead and start creating exterior walls, changing the view. I will be working with the more familiar one. We call this top view mode and is accessible from our story bar. I choose the wall tool and then selecting the mode, for this case the polywalls, inserting details, thickness, height, and justification, and then trace with the simple snap-ons. I'm ready now to create the floor slab by using the new slab tool. From the Home tab of BricsCAD BIM, I have easy access to model any shape I need. Identify the justification and simply select all the entities and create our slab. Assign an offset in order to extend the slab onto the external wall. In the column tool, BricsCAD supports most standard generic shape for steel and concrete, and this can be accessed from our library. We can easily pick a profile, even if it's not a square shape, by selecting the boundary detection to identify the columns. To complete the interior floor layout, we introduce a single wall segment. This time, I'll assign an internal wall composition from our library. This tool, aside from picking points, it recognizes wall thickness. Also has an option to automatically adjust its angle based on the 2D line. This smart behavior can also be used with point cloud data. By pressing the Control button, you will be able to swap direction from a better interpretation and then finish up with the Beam Extend tool. Once we finish placing all the internal walls, I'm ready to place doors and windows. By changing the visualization as a see-through, you'll be able to visualize the 2D plan to fit the entities in the right location. The process is pretty simple by accessing the library and selecting the doors that best fit in your project. You can flip the door with the quad and also change the direction if needed. If this is for a rough estimate and you don't really care for the type of window, then I suggest you to keep the LOD low. You can always replace this object easily if it becomes necessary. So far, creating a 3D model based on the designed 2D documents has been all about the geometry and very little on of the information stored of those building elements. The reason for that is because I'm on an early stage where the designer hasn't got the final approval from the client yet. BricsCAD gives me this freedom of either starting with the known materials and predefined parameters or starting with just the geometry. The reason for this is our automatic classification will do the IFC classification on all the elements. To speed up the process, I use our quick draw command, which allows us to create more floor with the same shape and content, or just to do the external walls, and then at the end we can also just place the final slab. I just drew a simple flat roof shape, but I will show you how our new roof tool make it easier to model other standard roof shapes such as a gable, hip, cross hip, shed, and M shape. This is just the beginning. We plan to continue developing this tool. On this session, for example, I'm creating an M-shaped roof. If you wish to know more about our BIM tools, please refer to our breakout sessions for V24.